Hello, this is Dr. Victoria Skirbo speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. Today is Sunday, October 28th, 2018. I'm going to look at something that somebody asked me to look at. This is a request, and also something I mentioned previous about there being a civil war in America. So let's do some cards on that. Let's see the possibility of an actual civil war in America. I'm not sure how that would break down. It's not like the North versus the South anymore. So, alright. I'm going to use the Rider Waite Deck. One of the easier ones to actually see. So let me put this down. Make sure that you can see it. Again, it'll look like things are upside down. That's the technology I have. They actually are not upside down. I'll let you know if a card comes in upside down. So just two more of these. We just had another mass shooting, this time in, I think it was Pittsburgh, at a synagogue, during a service, I believe. A white man came in with an AR-15, killed 11 people, injured some police. A far-right person, I think his last name was Bowers, but don't quote me. I will do a reading on him as well. I think I did one on SAC. I hate to really give these people the time of day, or the time of cards, so to speak, but just maybe to see if this, if he was a, sort of a lone wolf kind of thing. Alright, this is, will there be a civil war? Okay, we have the King of Swords. This is the Law and Order, and one of the Justice cards. This is also the card most often associated with Robert Mueller, so that's interesting. That may give us some hint. Okay, let's see the Crossing card. The Crossing card is the Fool. As a Crossing card, the Fool very much can be foolish action on somebody's part. The Fool can also be about a whole new beginning. And a whole new beginning is, because it's in the challenge position, delayed. So let's see what's at the root of this. Okay, the Moon. The Moon at the root is about emotions. Sometimes it's hidden things. The ups and downs. Illusion, delusion. So the root of the Civil War might be delusional, a delusional connection. The Moon card is connected with the sign of Pisces in the tarot. And Pisces can be illusion and delusion. What's interesting is when Donald Trump won the presidency back in November of 2016, and I'll put "one" in quotes because I just will, and I can. Quotes. Neptune was conjunct the south node of the Moon. And Neptune is delusion. It's also mass consciousness, and so it's very possible that this is a Frankenstein we created with our own mass consciousness, our own sense that we could actually have a savior, Pisces, to save us from our situation. So all I can say about that is, how's that working for you, folks? In the past, talks about celebration, Okay. Celebration in the past. In the sky, we have the Five of Pentacles. That's about loss, destitution, but it also speaks of keeping your eye to spirit, not remembering that we have a spiritual connection. This can be spiritual bankruptcy as well as physical bankruptcy. Okay, let's see what comes in the immediate future. We have the Sun card. This is a very positive card. It's about illumination. Okay. How others see it. Lots of new information coming in. Okay, I think I know what this reading is about, even though I asked about the Civil War. In the domestic situation, we have a new start, a new... so in the domestic situation, we have a new beginning, sort of starting at ground zero. I think that's connected to this energy here. Alright, let's see what else is coming up here. The hopes and fears that our ship will come in. Okay. And, okay, the outcome. The outcome, we have the Nine of Swords, anxiety, sleeplessness. Alright, let's see. I'm going to pull to see if we can get a major arcana. No major arcanas. Let's see what's at the root, at the bottom of this. The nostalgia card. Okay, so this is what I think about this reading. Let me put that up there. Can you see that? Just so you can see all the cards. So, I would say the question is, will there be a civil war? And from these cards, I would say no. No. The idea of a civil war is let's speak. The idea of a civil war, the feeling of a civil war, is really our fears. That's our fears talking. And it would be foolish to go in that direction. So what I want to say about this is that we are co-creative with the universe, and we do have power. And the people who would like us to think that we don't have any power wrap us up in our own fear. And when we get in our fear, we don't have power. We acquiesce our power to those people who pull the strings. And so don't allow yourself to get caught up in fear. Don't lose sleep over this. These cards suggest that you focus on the positive. Just because it happened in the past doesn't mean it's going to happen again. The other thing that comes across in this card is the King of Swords often is seen as Robert Mueller. And so I think that when the report comes out, now, I don't want to give too much power to that report, because I believe the only two things that he was looking for in that report specifically was whether there was interference with the elections from Russia and whether the Trump administration knew. I can't say I'm an expert on all of this, but this is my understanding. And beyond that, that's what the report is being written for. Not to say that they haven't uncovered a whole lot of other stuff, but that is not necessarily part of the Mueller investigation and what he was investigating Trump for. That stuff will come down the pike. There will be what's the word I'm looking for? Those things will work themselves out in the way that they're meant to work themselves out, but the actual Mueller report and the collusion with Russia, or whatever whatever they're calling it, interference, will shed light on something. And I feel as though when that light is shed, this idea of civil war will dissipate. I feel as though when we see Trump for the fool that he is, and I want to, before somebody jumps down my throat about calling Trump a fool, I want to just talk about this card. The Fool card is a card associated with the planet Uranus, and Uranus is the Great Awakener. And this card here can also be the rule of law, the King of Swords. And then crossing that is disruption, Uranus. And what Uranus does is Uranus acts like a bomb that gets, like a cherry bomb that gets thrown into a group, and everything blows up, and then we have to see what's left. That energy is very much Donald Trump. Donald Trump is, in my estimation, pure id energy. He is a conduit for our own immature and insecure id energy, and it's coming up to be seen, to be looked at, to be appreciated on some level, and to be and then of course for us to take control and responsibility of that, because there is nobody out there that doesn't reflect a part of ourselves. So as far as a civil war, I would say no. I think the Mueller investigation will not create it. I think it will sort of tamp it down somewhat. But the thing I want to impress with you, all of you, is that we do create our own reality to a certain point, and it is our responsibility to focus our energy in the directions of the things that will make our world better and have us get along. Of course, one of the things you can do is vote. If you, despite this voter suppression, despite the hacked voting machines, there is a power in having your voice heard. And if enough people vote, it won't matter how much suppression or how much hacking is going on. It really only works, I believe, if not enough people get out there and make their feelings heard. Voting is a way for us to make our feelings felt in a very grounded way. It's not a perfect system. There's a lot stacked against the majority in this case, but it's still necessary for us to do that. So don't get caught up in your fear. This whole Civil War thing is based on illusion and delusion, with the specter of financial collapse. Okay, we can take that back. If you vote in the right people, they can repeal the tax cuts for the corporations. We can redo this. We can start from ground zero. We can start working for the people, but you have to vote. So don't let the whole idea of civil war get you all riled up that there's no hope. Hi. So that's what these cards say to me. I'll give you, I'm an optimist, but I'd much rather spend my time and my energy focusing on things that bring healing than focusing in on things that bring further suffering. So you do feel what you want to feel, but don't let them convince you that this is a foregone conclusion. I really don't think that's the case. Okay, so stay in your hearts, folks. I think we're gonna move through this. Remember, we are rising up vibrationally, and evolution occurs between the border of chaos and order. John DeMartini, my teacher. That's a quote from him. And we actually have broken through. That's why there's so much chaos. It's like moving into a new city, right? You move into a new city and you're not familiar with the streets. You're not familiar with the way things are set up in that new city, in this new level of evolution, right? This new level of consciousness. It takes time for you to figure out where you're at. So we're figuring out where we're at. We already have moved to a new level. So don't think that we haven't gotten there yet, because we have. For those of us who look at life from a broader perspective, we may have an opportunity to see the patterns a little faster than the masses of people who are just experiencing this breakthrough and this breakdown. So if you are one of those people, you have to hold the light, especially because you know. Not everybody knows. And so we can't judge people for being afraid. We can't judge people for acting out of fear. We can love them, and we can shine the light as bright as we can, so when they do look for the light is there for them. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. I'll get off my soapbox now. We live in, oh my God, interesting times, don't we? Have a beautiful week, a beautiful day, a beautiful year, and a beautiful life. See you again next time. Like and subscribe. Ciao.